Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel, and if you couldn't already tell, I am so excited to do this video today because earlier today the new KathleenLights and ColourPop Zodiac collection was delivered to my house, so we are going to be going through all of that today. So as I'm sure most of you already know, ColourPop and KathleenLights have collaborated again. This is probably like, what, their fourth or fifth time collaborating, and this time they made an entire collection all around the zodiac symbols, which I thought was really fun. So that is what we are going to be testing out today. But before we get into the makeup, make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you like first impression review type videos, please go ahead and give this one a thumbs up so I know to make more of them here for my channel. And now let's get into all the makeup. So I didn't get the entire collection, but I did get quite a few products. Of course, the first one being the new eyeshadow palette. I really like the color story that she came up with for the palette, so I think we're going to be able to make a really fun look with it today. And then I got one of the highlighters. She did come out with two of them. The other one that she came out with I thought was probably going to be a little bit too dark for me, so I just picked up one, and I did pick up both of the lipsticks as well. So the only other two products that I didn't pick up were the liquid eyeshadows. She came out with two of them, and you know, just for me personally, I'm not a big liquid eyeshadow fan, so I knew I wouldn't get much use out of them. So I decided to skip those, but I did get a majority of the collection, and I'm so excited to try it out today. As you can probably tell, I do have most of my base on, so I'm just going to kind of start putting this stuff on my face as I would if I was just putting on my makeup regularly. So let's go for the highlighter first. I got the color On the Cusp, and I have used some of the Super Shock products from ColourPop before, and they haven't been my favorite, but I've never used one as a highlighter. So because I just thought this was such a pretty color, I decided to go ahead and try one of these again. And I've been really loving the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter lately, and I've heard that this is very similar to that. So let's go ahead and do a little swatch of it. Ooh, that's really creamy. But that is the swatch. Again, this is the color On the Cusp. Yeah, so let's go ahead and put that on my cheeks. Let's see how it turns out. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's not super blinding though. I will try it with my fingers too in a second. But I do prefer, you know, just to use brushes usually. So that's what I wanted to test it out with. And it could be my lights too. I've got a ton of like beauty lights going on right now, so that might kind of be dulling the shine a little bit. I don't know. But just first impressions, I'm honestly a little underwhelmed. All right, let's go ahead and use my finger here. I like to use my finger right over my Cupid's bow and kind of blend it out a little bit. And I will try a little bit on my cheeks. I don't know, I think it's a lot more subtle, at least how I'm looking at it in the mirror here, trying to get maybe down, get a little bit of a different angle on it. It's not bad. I definitely will continue to use it, and if I go outside or just go in different lighting, it might look completely different. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think about it. I was really expecting it to be more of a blinding highlight. I love the color, I think it's gorgeous. And here, like a really heavy swatch on my hand, I think that is pretty blinding. First impression, I gotta say I'm not overly impressed. But it's not horrible. Now moving on to the product that I'm most excited about, this is the Zodiac eyeshadow palette. I have never tried ColourPop eyeshadows, which is why I decided to go for it and pick this one up. This is what the actual packaging looks like. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. And I didn't even tell you guys, I am an Aquarius. Kathleen is also an Aquarius. I think she was born like 3 days after me. Our birthdays, I know, are really close together. Not in the same year. She's quite a bit younger than me. And I know in her reveal video for this collection, she was talking about like you have other signs as well besides just like your main one. What are they called? Like your moon sign or your star sign or your sun sign, something like that. I don't know. I did look it up when she was talking about it because I was kind of curious. I'm honestly really not that big into zodiacs or anything, but I thought it would be kind of fun. If you have been watching me, what do you think my other signs are? I told you that I am an Aquarius, but what do you think my other signs might be? And I'll have what they really are listed down in the description box below, but let me know in a comment if you follow zodiac stuff, if you know all of that kind of stuff, what do you think all my signs would be? Curious to see if what you think would match up to what I really am. All right, so back to the palette. Let's go ahead and open her up. And this is what she looks like. And as I said earlier in the video, I love the color story that she came up with. It's a little unexpected. You know, we've got the orange, the purple, the blue, the aqua color. But then you've got a couple of like transition-y shades, some deepening shades. You've got a lot going on in this palette, and I would say this is almost a perfectly well-rounded palette for me. The only thing that I can see that's missing in here for me is like an all-over setting shade to set my eyeshadow primer, which isn't a huge deal. I can, of course, always set my eyeshadow with just like a face powder, or my eyeshadow primer with a face powder if I need to, if I'm just taking this to travel with, or if this is the only thing I have on hand. But otherwise, I think I've got pretty much everything here that I need to make a full look. Before I get to actually putting it on my face, I did want to do a few swatches. The first one that's just calling my name is this orange shade called the Aries. Okay, it's a little bit drier feeling than I thought it might be. That's not a bad thing. I just thought it would maybe be feeling a little bit creamier. But let me go ahead and do a swatch of that. So that's pretty. I like that one. And then I think I'm going to go in, I mean, I have to go in with the Pisces. That shade is just like screaming. It's so bright. Okay, that one's a really, really like creamy shade. Looks a little chunky, but that's okay. We're going to go right there. And yeah, you can see there with just one swipe, it is a little bit chunky, but we're going to blend it out, and that is super pretty. And then let's see, let's swatch a matte shade. We'll swatch the Aquarius, which is the blue. That looks really, really pretty on my finger. And that swatched really, really nice. I like that one a lot. I'm not usually a blue fan, but I think because I am an Aquarius, I've got to use that shade today. And then I'm going to go in and swatch the Gemini shade. That's kind of like a greeny gold, it looks like. And that one's really creamy too. Ooh, yeah. That's kind of like an old gold color. That is really unique, I think, to my collection. I love that. And then I'm also going to go ahead and swatch the Libra shade here. I think that's the one that she was saying that's not quite matte. It's not quite shimmery. It's kind of, you know, just right in between, like a nice satin shade. And that one feels nice as well. It's just a pretty light color. I'm going to swatch it right up here. Oh yeah, that's really, really pretty. I could see that being like a good transition shade. And then one more thing I wanted to do before we start putting these on my eyes, I promise we'll be quick. I just wanted to compare a couple of the shades in here to a couple of the other shades that I have in some of my other palettes. The first one I wanted to compare was the Scorpio here, which is like the dark kind of shimmery purple color, to one that I'm using in my Pan That palette for this year. And if you don't know, I am trying to completely finish up the Urban Decay Amel palette this year. And this shade in here, this shade right here called Last Call, seemed similar. So this one is Last Call from Urban Decay, and then this one is the Scorpio from the new Kathleen Lights palette. Not as similar as I thought, which is good. They're both pretty in their own way, just not as similar. And then the other one I wanted to compare was actually from another Kathleen Lights collab. Does anybody remember this? I feel like this is never talked about, and it's a really, really good palette. This one is the Morphe by Kathleen Lights palette that came out less than 2 years ago, I think. Actually, I really, really love this palette, and for me, this is like a perfectly well-rounded palette. I have absolutely everything I need to complete a look, but I wanted to compare this shade right here. I don't think these ones have names at all, but I wanted to compare this one to the bright like aqua color in there. This first shade here is the one from the Morphe palette, and then this one is the Pisces shade from the ColourPop palette. Definitely not as similar as I thought they were, but as soon as I saw this palette with this shade, it made me think of the one that I've got from Morphe, so I just wanted to kind of check out to see how similar they really were. And yeah, I mean, you could probably get a similar look with them. They're both very, very foiled, you know, very, very shimmery shades, you know, with a similar tone, but they are different. One more thing about the packaging that I just noticed, I think the design is absolutely beautiful, and I do love that there's a mirror in here. I think that's really nice. The names of the eyeshadows are written here in the palette, which is amazing. Everybody loves when they do that. So why are they also on the back? That just kind of confuses me. I feel like you could have just left that off and just have the you know, constellations or the zodiac symbols on the back, and it would have looked a lot nicer. Just a little tiny thing that I just noticed. It's obviously not make or break, but just thought I'd point that out. All right, so now I'm gonna finally go ahead and put these on my eyes. I have no idea where we're going with this, but I'm just gonna kind of speed through it, and I will put the names of the eyeshadows up on the screen so you can tell exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get in my groove and figure out something that hopefully works out well. eye look. I think it kind of turned out cool, you guys. I thought the most of the eyeshadows were very, very blendable. Most of them came out really pigmented on my eyes, except for the Aquarius shade, unfortunately. That is the one, of course, that I have on my lower lash line. I wish it was a little bit more pigmented. I did have to build it up quite a bit, and I still feel it's like a little dull looking, unfortunately. I mean, I know you can tell that it is like a blue eyeshadow there. I just wish it was a little bit brighter. The one shade, which one was it? The Capricorn here, this darkest shade here, it is super pigmented. Oh my gosh. That's the shade that I went over my eyeliner with, and oh my gosh, yeah, that is crazy pigmented. There was quite a bit of fallout with that shade too, so be careful with that. But that is one of like the most pigmented blacks I think I've ever used. There is quite a bit of glitter in there as well. I don't think that really came across in my eye look. I think if you use like a flat brush like all over the lid, you could probably get the glitter to show up, but it's really just the black pigmentation that I'm noticing. But I really liked how all the other shades blended out on my eyes, and I'm really excited to try the rest of them. So let's go ahead and move on to the lipsticks. They did come out with 2 of them, and this is the Luxe line of lipsticks that ColourPop has. I have a couple of the Luxe matte lipsticks, and I love those. And I've heard a few people here on YouTube say that they don't love the matte formula, which I do, but they love the cream formula, and I believe both of these are creams. So one of them is very nude. This one is called What's Your Sign, which I think is an absolutely adorable name. Where can I swatch? I guess I'll just try to swatch here on my other hand. This one is very nude, it looks like. And I'm not right-handed, so sorry if the swatch is terrible, but that is what that one looks like. And then I brought down one of her other collabs with ColourPop. This is the shade Aquarius from a few years ago, and I want to just compare these two because I know this is a nude as well. So here we have What's Your Sign, and then this is Aquarius. And those, looking in my mirror here, are similar, but they're not quite the same. I'd say Aquarius is a little bit more pink. And then the other shade that she came out with is called Scorpio Moon. And this one I think is supposed to be basically a dupe for Lumiere. And Lumiere, as most of you probably know, was her very first collab with ColourPop like 3 or 4 years ago, I think at this point. I don't have Lumiere anymore. I used it up completely last summer. I loved that color and I loved that lipstick formula. So I was excited to try it again, kind of, but I don't have it here to see how they really compare to each other, unfortunately. But here we go. This is Scorpio Moon. And that, I don't know, to me that looks a little bit more purple than what Lumiere looked like. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I will try on both of them for you. I think I'm going to try What's Your Sign on first. And I'm not usually a big fan of just nude lipsticks, so I don't know that I'm going to love this one, but I don't know. I decided to try it. We'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and try this one on. I really don't like this one. Yeah, oh gosh, especially with this eye look, it's just really, really monochromatic looking. Oh, not my shade, I don't think. I don't think I'm gonna really be using this one. Maybe layered on top, these might be nice, but on its own, I'm really not a big fan of this one personally. Color is, of course, a completely personal choice. This might look amazing on some of you. I just don't think it looks quite right on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash this one off and we will try and put on Scorpio Moon. Hopefully I like this one better. I know the application isn't the best, and I don't know. I definitely feel like this is not a dupe for Lumiere. This feels a lot more purple than that. I don't know. I don't know. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of the What's Your Sign on top of it. I'll be really sad if I really don't end up wearing both of these. Maybe, like I said, maybe together they'll look really good. Okay, yes. I love that combination. I feel like this color really took down the purpleness, but it still left like the tone of the Scorpio Moon, but it just kind of lifted the purple out of it a little bit. Oh, shoot. Do you see what I just did? I didn't realize I had eyeshadow on my finger. I was trying to kind of blend it all in. Well, that just kind of ruined the whole thing. And at the time when I'm filming this, I know a few of the products have sold out. They will, of course, be all linked down below because they are going to be coming back. So if there's something that you like here and it's sold out currently, you know, just keep checking their website because they will be coming back at some point. So final thoughts. I think the whole idea for this collection was really fun. I love the eyeshadow palette. I think of everything that I've tried, the eyeshadow palette is definitely my favorite. I'm really excited to try all the different colors in here. A lot of these are going to be very wearable everyday shades. A couple of them, maybe down here in this corner, are not really everyday shades, but definitely fun pops of color. And I thought that the overall formula of the ColourPop shadows were really blendable. I don't know, I always feel like I have a hard time creating a really nice blended look when I'm doing it on camera versus when I'm doing it like up in my bathroom. I guess the pressure is really on and I always seem to fall short. But I feel like this is a very blendable formula. As far as the highlighter goes, I mean, you can see it. It's not that you can't see it. I will wear it again and look at it in different lights, and maybe I'll change my mind about it because at this point, I'm not super impressed with it. As far as the two lipsticks go, do not like them separately, but I think together they make a really beautiful look. So I'm really happy that I bought both of them. So that's it then for this video. I hope you had a fun time trying out these new products with me. I always love testing out new products on camera. I think that's really fun and I love watching other people do it as well. But thank you so much for watching today and hanging out with me for a little bit. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave and hit that little notification bell so you know the next time that I post. You can also connect on Instagram. I will have my handle linked down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!